Energy Web Token. So, Energy Web Token is founded by one of the biggest names in research and development with regards to sort of energy. Um, they have built the energy web chain. This is actually pretty good, but there are certainly some red flags in terms of how it could be hindered by price action in the future, that could hinder it with price action in the future that I'm going to talk about. We'll see where things are at right now, potentially what it can hit this year. Before I get into it though, if you're new here, this spreadsheet shows the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. In the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these cryptos. These were coins I thought could do very, very well and make a lot of money. Now you can see what they were all worth when I recorded my videos. These are the highs these cryptos hit around about 16 months on. And these are what your profits would have been if you'd popped $100 into these coins. 100 into each in that time would have made you a little over 123 grand. Now the thing is obviously we're in a bull cycle. If you are not happy with the coins you own or you don't own any, it's time to get that sorted. If you're not sure where to start, have a look at copymycrypto.com. That's the site I run where I share my portfolio with my members. When I'm ready to buy or sell a crypto, I tell my members the crypto that I'm buying or selling and the price that I'm buying or selling at. So my members get in and out of coins at the same price as me, meaning they make the same profit and they don't have any work to do at all. And if you go onto my site, you'll be able to see some of the profits my members have made, as well as some of my past successes. These are all public record. You can verify them all on the history of this channel. And if you like what you see and you want to hear more, whether it's the daily market updates where I'm just telling the members where the day is going to go, or whether you want to hear the coins that I think are going to be the big winners, all you've got to do to find out about any of that is join up on the site, guys. Now, Energy Web Token. So they've created the Energy Web Chain. The Energy Web Token is the operational token behind it. It's a blockchain-based virtual machine. It's designed to support and further application development in the energy sector. It's founded by the Rocky Mountain Institute and Grid Singularity. Now, Rocky Mountain Institute is a massively well-known think tank. They've participated in many revolutionary projects in the energy sector, and by creating the Energy Web Chain, the Rocky Mountain Institute wanted to employ blockchain tech's decentralized power to allow actors from the energy sector to develop new decentralized solutions. Grid Singularity is the blockchain expertise that's been brought to the project. So it's, like I say, a joint project between the two. And the idea, like I say, is utilize the decentralized nature of blockchain tech to improve the energy sector in general. As we can see, this is the Energy Web chain. Actually, to be fair, transactions per day isn't actually bad. 40,000 or so transactions per day. Obviously, that doesn't mean it's getting huge usage. I mean, given that there are, average block time is 5.8 seconds. You've got 88 million transactions that have occurred altogether. Now, granted, look, in a day, there's like 86,000 seconds, right? So it's averaging about one transaction every 2 seconds. But that's still not bad usage. Look, the reality is that if this was a layer 1 competing with Solanas and everything else, I'd be like, this is crap. But an energy web chain is not that. It's not trying to be that. It's about trying to revamp the energy sector. So it's incredibly aspirational in and of itself, right? So the idea behind this is a global ecosystem that accelerates the energy transition with open source tech and collaboration. And big names are working with this. You've got Deloitte, you've got Shell, you've got EDF. These are big names in the energy sector. So they're trying to leverage the investment and experience of hundreds of other energy companies. The decentralized architecture can boost cybersecurity and enhance customer privacy. It's built by and for the sector. And it's trying to power a sort of new shift in energy, whether it's electricity, which is by enabling secure data exchange and asset identity management, whether it's aviation, so driving the future of sustainable aviation with transparent, scalable solutions for verifying, tracing, and trading sustainable aviation fuel, whether it's maritime for verifying, tracking and accelerating decarbonisation of the sector, whether it's e-mobility, which is integrating electric vehicles. You've got clean mining with Bitcoin and other proof of work cryptos. It's a solid concept in terms of what they're trying to achieve. And again, you've got big names that are participating in this. 1,000 ecosystem plus participants. You've got 500% growth in compute power, 2 million assets ready to connect, and 9 million plus energy web tokens that are locked in secure in the network. Bear in mind as well, there's 30 million circulating right now. So, about a third, well, not quite a third, 30% are secure in the network. So that's not too bad. The problem I have with it as a concept, right, is I'm not sure how incentivized these big companies are to start the shift. The reality is look, we're not running out of fossil fuels, whatever anyone says. And the big companies know how much fossil fuel they have. So even the ones that are involved in this, I think it's probably a tentative step in terms of starting to get used to the energy transition. But we're not looking at a situation where we're going to be out of these fuels in 10 years or 20 years. So there's not an urgency behind it. Also, you've got to realize that actually, for all the governments talk about the need for bringing the carbon footprint down, or whatever BS that they talk about, they're not rushing. No, every government keeps promising a certain level of reducing carbonization to a certain percentage by 2030, or carbon neutral by 2030, or something like that. None of them are making headway. None of them are actually pushing towards doing this. It is their aim with, or their intention with this is to really placate to the sort of masses that want to hear this, but they're not making steps in the right direction. They're not making steps in that direction at all. I don't think companies are ready to do this. I think companies will be maybe in 30 or 40 years, particularly if it's cost efficient. But right now, they just raise the prices of fuel. They just raise the prices of electricity. They just raise the prices because they know people have to pay it. And until there's quite a revolution, nothing's going to change. So I think this is a good project and a good aim in terms of what they're trying to achieve. I just think it's too soon. And maybe the masses agree because the volume is not great. I mean, this is a market cap of 20 million. You'd be wanting over 1 million in volume. And most of the time, it's just scraping above 1 million. Quite often as well, way below. Way below. And those kind of numbers risk delisting. That's a reality. It's not on Binance or anything, but it isn't going to end up on Binance with that kind of volume. And it certainly runs the risk of delisting on platforms like KuCoin with that kind of volume. I mean, where's the volume coming from? 35 grand is on KuCoin. So I think, the reality is that unless people start being aware of it, unless people start participating in the trading of it, we're not going to see volume rise enough. And it will get delisted at some point. It's an aspirational goal. Can it do something this year? Maybe it can get back to a couple of bucks. Maybe at a peak it can get back to $4. That was kind of in and around its peak last summer. It could, in theory, get back to that, but I wouldn't be expecting much more than that. Because I think it's a good, sound project that's just too soon. Until you have companies come out and say, yes, we are legitimately going to be pushing on the new energy transition, and you actually see legitimate money, because it requires money. How many of them want to spend money to start making progress when they can just raise the cost of the current products that they offer? I think it's too soon. I think in 20 years' time, maybe this is a beast. But right now, yeah, I think it's too soon. It would take a huge revamp of the energy sector. It would take biggest corporations coming out and going, we're done with the way we're doing things, we're changing it all up. That's the kind of level that's needed for this to really start a surge. I just can't see it personally. I think it's decades too soon. Personal perspective. I am curious to hear what people think about this. Lots of people have very strong opinions on climate and carbon and blah, 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 blah. So I do want to hear what people say about this in terms of what do you think Energy Web Token can do? Do you think it's too soon? Do you think they're on the right lines? They've got the right companies involved? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And guys, look, we're in a bull cycle right now. If you're not happy with the coins you own or you're not confident in the cryptos you own, get onto copymycrypto.com, have a look through the site. That's the site I run where I share every single coin I own with my members. When I'm ready to buy or sell a crypto, I tell my members the crypto that I'm going to buy or sell, the price that I'm going to buy or sell at. So my members get in and out of coins, same price as me, so they make the same profit without a dot of work. If you go onto my site, you'll see the profits my members made, there's past successes that I've had. These are public record. You can verify them all on the history of this channel. If after doing that you like what you see and you want to hear about the coins I think are going to be the winners of this bull cycle, all you've got to do to find out about any of them is join up on the site. And if you do, I'll see you there. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.